Welcome back from the Ask Him, everybody. We are on part 2. It's time for the hot tags of the week, or the hot tags of half the week, since we're doing this so early. So we obviously don't have a ton to talk about, but there's actually still a couple other things that we can mention, and they're interesting things that are happening.
Just not fully cooked yet.
Yeah, they're lukewarm tags. But we've got 4 things. One of them is that Sheamus is going to be Rocksteady in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sequel.
Woo!
Now, some of us grew up on Ninja Turtles and have been waiting for a long time for Bebop and Rocksteady to be in there. I think that that's awesome. And actually, as much as I'm not a big fan of Sheamus, and I wasn't really a big fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film that they did, I like this a lot. He plays like Rocksteady. He looks like fucking Rocksteady.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that plays Bebop, I don't know who he is, but he looks like him too. It's like, shit, did they figure out how much they fucked up the first movie and they're going to do it good this time? I'm interested. I know that you're a real big fan of TMNT, Peyton. What do you think about this?
Well, they definitely got to be a lot better than that ugly-ass bird thing they had in the second Turtles movie from the other series. Toka and Raza. Attack! The one still photo we've seen, and we don't really get a full-on shot of Sheamus, but if he's just going to be a guy who's just going around, like, beating people up as a henchman, awesome. I could dig it. The other guy, especially, the way they got him to look like Bebop with the purple mohawk, fantastic job. I'm going to see it just because I'm such a huge Turtles fan. Like, as much as the first one was fucking awful, I don't care. I'm a sucker. I'll go see this one again. I look forward to it. And that's it.
Do you think that he's going to keep his accent?
I mean, it's his accent. It's not like it's a fake accent. It's the way he actually talks. So
no, but I mean, he could put on an American accent. I think it'd be kind of interesting to see him speaking like an American.
No.
Plus, Rocksteady's an American character. I mean,
it doesn't have to be, though. I mean, they could change it however the fuck they want. I mean, he's supposed to be a fucking rhino too.
Yeah. So... You think he's gonna put on a rhino accent? Hey, why didn't you get Rhino to play that part?
Yeah,
way go, Drew. What do you think about this? Do you guys follow Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see the first one, but I mean, I remember back when they were talking about people for the possible new Star Wars film, and then Sheamus' name got put out there, and people freaked out. So, I mean,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he was supposed to be Darth Vader in some flashback.
Yeah, exactly. So I think people freaked the fuck out.
Stupid.
Yeah, but you know, I know what the characters look like, and Sheamus kind of does look like him. So I don't know if I'll have to see the trailers. Like, I don't know. I'm not old enough to really like understand. Like, I'm just too young to like kind of care about it. But if the trailer appeals,
like, out of all these properties that they've been doing these movies out of, Turtles is the one that's remained the most relevant.
That's because they do TV shows and stuff with that as well, and they try to keep them relevant, which is fine. It just never appealed to me when I was younger, growing up as well. So,
have you watched the Nickelodeon series?
The animated one.
The one on Nickelodeon. I'm not talking about the one from the 90s. That one was cool too, but I'm talking about the one that's currently airing on Nickelodeon. They're still making new episodes.
Yeah, my brother watches it. I've seen parts of it.
You should be too, because it's fucking awesome.
I have seen parts of it, and I do like it. I just don't watch TV enough to like really not care to actually sit down and watch it. But to be fair,
okay, I'm sorry, I forgot we're on a podcast. We're talking about a TV show.
Yeah, that is true as well.
Do you ever watch the old movies?
I have seen the first one.
You should watch the second one too.
And then I've also seen the black guy version where they dubbed the voices to make them black people, and that was funny as well.
That was funny, yeah.
Yeah. So.
God damn it, Drew.
I'm sorry. Listen. Just remember, you've been a wrestling fan longer than I've been alive. Think about it like that. I'm not helping my case at all here. But if the trailer appeals me, and if Sheamus is going to be the Irish whatever, then I can handle it. I mean, they could have done worse, okay? And I know people will be pissed off at Sheamus still, but quite actually surprised of your guy two's reactions to it, because it's Sheamus out of all people. So, who knows, maybe he could pull out a slobber knocker here.
Jesus, you should stop talking like a few minutes ago, buddy.
Lego, do you have any thoughts on this casting?
I'm happy for Sheamus. I don't really follow the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I can't really comment. I'm just happy that a guy like Sheamus or any guy from WWE got that chance. It's a big opportunity, so hats off to him.
Anybody think that this is the reason why he didn't win the Intercontinental title?
Possibly.
It's a possibility, but
Could be.
I think it's more to do with the fact that people found the advertisements and they was like, shit.
I would say more than anything, it's that they wanted to give it to Ryback. But it could play into it. You never know.
I think it's a little of all three.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know when the movie's coming out. I'm assuming next year, not, like later on this year or anything like that. Maybe they'll give him a push around that time, try to be like, Sheamus is in a movie. It's actually a movie that people are going to see instead of a WWE films kind of thing. So,
And honestly, if I had
again by then.
If I had him be a part of a big movie, I'd want him to be champion. Take that belt on fucking talk shows and stuff.
Yeah. Although it'd be kind of weird if he's out there and he's like, "Yeah, I'm playing Rocksteady," and it's like, "Can you explain to us what Rocksteady is?" No.
Well, to be fair, I guess it kind of makes sense with his new gimmick that he's just like this big bully in some sort of way. If he's just a guy running around beating up people, it makes sense in a way.
I just looked it up. It's June 2016. So it's far too long. Actually, we have two things about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to talk about, though. One of the stars in that movie is possibly going to be wrestling. Stephen Amell is Casey Jones in the sequel. And there's talk that he's going to be wrestling Stardust at SummerSlam this year. And that he might not be wrestling as Stephen Amell. He might be able to wrestle as his character from Arrow, Oliver Queen. That, to me, is fucking weird. But if it would happen, that'd be awesome. I love the show Arrow. Season 3 was kind of a pain, but Green Arrow is a great character that's been doing fantastic on TV. They've taken a pretty lame character in the comics and made him interesting. And if he could do that, that'd be pretty cool to see a guy who really loves different comic books like Cody Rhodes against a comic book character guy. Like, I don't think that it will happen, though, because, DC owns that, so they'd have to get permission. You couldn't literally have a guy come out there as Oliver Queen without their permission, so...
Could still have him dress up in his attire.
Yeah, he could always just be Stephen Amell dressed up as Arrow.
There's nothing stopping him from cosplaying.
Just be the vigilante.
Yeah, I loved when they were doing that with the vigilante Sting, and he did that in, like, Vine or whatever it was, and it was just him in the makeup, and he's like, why are they calling him that?
Well, why would you do that? Why?
So you got a guy like Cody Rhodes who's super into comics. His attire that he wears now, if nobody knows, is inspired by Mr. Sinister from the X-Men. And you've got Stephen Amell, who is playing a comic book character and is really into wrestling. Great pairing, right?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And
yeah.
You know what? This is a great spot for Cody Rhodes. He was doing nothing, and he gets a high-profile match with a celebrity. People, shit on the guys that lose to those matches, but trust me, they don't care. They get a big payday. They get more exposure than they normally get. You ask Big Show, do you think he cares that he had to lose to Floyd Mayweather?
Oh no. And you know what? Not only do they get the exposure that of being with a celebrity, there's nothing that would say that they'd be on the card, period. Stardust was in a kickoff match that wasn't announced for Elimination Chamber. SummerSlam is a card where you're going to throw some bigger names on there. He likely would have been left out of the shuffle.
Yeah, you're definitely right. And I feel really happy for Cody just because he's one of those guys that are underutilized and he's definitely talented. And it's not like he's one of these guys where they don't do anything with him because he's not trying, because he's constantly evolving.
Mm-hmm. If anybody would be able to pull off something that's cartoony and appeals to the kids kind of, even though Arrow isn't really a kids show, I think Cody Rhodes could do that. He could play that kind of over-the-top supervillain in this. I'm down for it entirely. Stephen Amell is in shape. He loves, Monday Night Raw, so it's not like bringing somebody in that they clearly don't know what the fuck's happening and they're just there for promotion.
This is also an opportunity for Cody Rhodes to distinguish the Stardust character away from the Goldust character.
Yeah.
He has an opportunity right now to give the Stardust character new twists, new layers.
He
This
gave
is
him a new
his...
finisher.
Yeah, I found that funny as hell.
That was great.
This is his opportunity to distinguish himself and not be a Goldust clone. He could actually make something of this. And he needs to take this opportunity and run with it.
Drew, Payton, any thoughts?
I like the idea of it.
I hope.
Ooh. I'll go still anyways. But no, I like the idea of it. I mean, like, kind of like what Wiga said, you know, he's getting a spot on possibly at SummerSlam against a celebrity, even though he will most likely lose the match. Only good things to come out of it because he'll get the publicity of being this guy who wrestles him as well. The Stardust character is perfect for something if you're going to do a crossover with something from a comic book as well, out of all the wrestlers currently in WWE. And possibly, you know, I highly doubt that they would do. No, they couldn't do something like a crossover between Stardust into, you know, the show hero. But that's just wishful thinking at that point. But no, good for Stardust, and you know, I'm looking forward to the match at SummerSlam.
Now, but you know what they could do?
What?
They could have Cody Rhodes do a guest spot.
Yeah,
He could always play a different character.
Very
Kind of like
true.
a trade-off. Be like, yo, you got Stephen Amell to go to SummerSlam and do that. Can we get Cody Rhodes to play a villain in an episode or something? That'd be a good
Very
way to
true.
do that. I mean, shit, Smallville had Ashley Massaro and a couple other people. I think Kane and Batista. So, Cody Rhodes could do that.
I know Batista was on that show at one point.
I think he was. I know Massaro was. Because
Yeah.
I was just like, the fuck is she doing here? Peyton, any thoughts about this? Other than I hope.
That's gone.
I'm sorry.
Transition from one star to another. Samoa Joe has signed a full-time contract with WWE. He's going to fulfill the rest of his indie dates that he booked through the summer, and then he is just going to be a WWE guy. And part of the reason why is supposedly the sale from his t-shirt that they just, you know, sold out pretty damn fast. Maybe that was enough of a reason for Vince McMahon to just kind of be like, oh shit, maybe we should just get this guy for real. I'm not the biggest Samoa Joe fan, but I like this. Samoa Joe's just gonna bring another good name to NXT, and, you know, I was a little bit worried that this whole thing with him working with other companies was gonna kind of hinder the Kevin Owens feud. Have him in this, like, full contract thing, stick with NXT for a while, take that take that difference of spot and place. Take the spot that Kevin Owens is going to be leaving. I'd be totally fine with that. You guys think this is a good thing, or are you going to get a little bit sick of Samoa Joe?
No, I think it's going to be a good thing. Someone's got to be the big bad heel at NXT eventually. I think Samoa Joe could fill that spot. He could also fill a babyface role. And he is a well-known guy in the wrestling community, and just as a whole, he's a safe worker. Everyone knows him personally, so it just brings publicity to WWE, and it gives more people a reason to don't go watch WWE, because, you know, some fans out there don't, because it's, you know, WWE's kind of watered down. It gives them a reason to tune in to see someone that they might like. So, only good things from it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I didn't watch it, so I really don't see much of Samoa Joe or Samoa Fat, but can't wait to see.
Hats off to Samoa Joe for putting himself in a position where he had a shit ton of leverage to the point where he's got a main roster deal. Fucking hats off to you, dude, because they had no plans other than making him some type of glorified enhancement guy. That's the reason he had that deal. It's the same reason Rhino has that deal, but he's worked his way where his name's a certain value, that he sold the merchandise and proved he could move it, and now they're going to have to invest in him. So I think this is awesome. I'm really happy for that guy, and I know he's friends with John Cena, so if he does get called up to the main roster sooner than later, at least he has Cena watching his back too.
And he gets to keep his name.
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn, dude, that's a good fucking deal.
He did very well for himself, and there's not many guys that can accomplish that, so hats off to him.
Be funny if there's, like, references to CM Punk. You know, since they're like such good friends, and it's like CM Punk was a big issue with keeping his name. Like, there's pictures of Samoa Joe signing a contract where he gets to keep it, and Triple H like giving a thumbs up or something. Fucking man. Peyton, any thoughts about Samoa Joe?
He's fat.
Peyton's connection seems really awful, so if you couldn't hear that, he said he's fat. And that's another transition, another fat guy. But this is just something that we will report on when I do the SmackDown results, but I figured it's something interesting to talk about, so let's mention it here. Kevin Owens is going to be holding a NXT Championship Open Challenge on SmackDown, kind of a play off the US Open Challenge, of course. But that means the NXT Championship is going to be defended on SmackDown. I don't think we've ever seen an NXT title defended on Raw or SmackDown before. Or main event, or Superstars, for that matter. That's kind of big. NXT gets brought up to the main roster, sort of. And Kevin Owens, he is a main roster person now. He's going to be fighting somebody, I don't know who. But maybe it's somebody that could be from NXT. Maybe it's somebody from SmackDown. Who would you guys like to see answer the challenge?
Neville, Sami Zayn, or Samoa Joe.
Nobody from... Oh, wait, no. Neville is, yeah. I was just going to say nobody that's on the main roster. I keep forgetting the Neville's in there.
Neville would just be a fun match, and I want to see them actually go to a finish and not have a powerbomb on the apron.
What about you, Drew?
Was there any stipulations about who his opponent could be?
I don't think so.
Okay. I like a Neville would be fine. However, it'd be interesting to see if they take this opportunity and give it what would it be? Just a veteran, like maybe not a Randy Orton, but someone of that level that gives Kevin Owens another big name that he could be. Maybe a Sheamus if so.
Oh shit, Dolph Ziggler.
Or yeah, that's a good one, Dolph Ziggler. Someone like that could go out there, put it on a good match, and it's a quality opponent. Dolph Ziggler is a former world champion. Someone that could prove how good Kevin Owens is, and that him beating John Cena is just not some one-off fluke win.
You know who I'd like to see? Cesaro.
It's another good name. Cesaro, maybe even Tyson Kidd if they want to, do both.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
It'd be interesting because Cesaro kicked the fuck out of Sami Zayn, much like Kevin Owens did, so it'd be cool to see those guys have a stiff backwards and forwards match.
Anybody that stand out to you, Peyton, that you'd like to see?
Kofi Kingston.
He can set spots.
They're really positioning this guy. This guy's just getting everything. Might as well put him in there too. It's more likely just going to be answered by some loser, like an Adam Rose or something.
Hope not.
Come out trying to shill his T-shirt. It is going to be Adam Rose. It's going to be Adam Rose coming out my T-shirt matters too.
Oh God, they did mention him on that promo.
Yeah, I think we forgot to talk about it in the post-Raw show, but damn, we're Cena fucking being harsh at Adam Rose.
Yeah, and Adam Rose is like, hey, buddy, I've got a sick kid at home. You're pointing out the kid in the crowd, and you're not going to do... Fuck you. So, any chance you guys think that he actually drops the title?
No. Unless it's someone on NXT, no.
I don't think they're going to make him look weak. He's going to get a protective booking for at least 6 months.
I don't think the match is even going to happen.
Huh. You think
he's just going to come out, he's going to make the challenge. It's just going to end up being some kind of angle segment. I don't think a match will actually happen.
Maybe Stang will answer it.
Stang!
You guys had no idea what that is, but we'll tell you eventually if you get really confused.
It's gotta be Stang.
Stang!
I've had that stuck in my head ever since we've been doing it. It's really, really horrible just to be thinking of that in the middle of the day. Alrighty, guys, if you have any questions about, or not questions, if you have any thoughts about what we have talked about, leave them in the comments below. I guess if you have any questions about Stang, you can leave that in the comments below as well. That is it for the hot tags for this week. We are going to take a break with the rest hold. We're going to come back and answer your mailbag questions. So stay tuned for part 3, part 4, and everything else.